What's going on, good people? How about them dogs? Had to bring the belt out and the necklace. What's going on, good people? It's your boy Big Jack coming back at you with another episode of the Bouncer Chronicles. The last episode I left off, I was talking about working at Club Miami, and all the craziness that entailed. Um, but during my time um, doing security, bouncer work, we had some crazy fights, especially at Club Miami. We had some doozies. One of the first like brawls I remember um, at Club Miami was they had like it was like a international soccer festival or something like that, and I don't know who was playing because I'm not really into soccer like that, but it was different countries. But there was some guys from Ethiopia that they rented the club out for 3 days, and they had parties, 3 days, and so the first night was okay. Second night, it kind of got a little out of hand. A couple fights, throwing some guys out. Um, but that last night um, was off the chain. I remember being on stage and some guys on the stage started fighting, like the promoters, like they fighting other people. So I'm trying to break it up. So I got one guy, and I guess I had one of their friends. I guess I don't know. So um, he was, I was trying to pull him off, to separate him, but his friends started hitting me. Like, wait a minute. So every time they hit me, I hit him. I was trying to knock his head off. And so finally my backup came and we started clearing the stage out. And so the guy who was fighting originally, uh, he got up in my face and he swung at me. So I ducked it, spun him around, grabbed him by the back of his dreads and by the back of his pants and ran off the stage with him and landed on top of him. Boom. I think it was my ring finger. I broke it. I posted it on Facebook. I might have to go back and see that picture, but I broke my finger. But I just remember like security. We was just at a point. You try to separate. Just to get people out of the club fighting, but in these occasions I'm gonna talk about, they just wanted to fight, so we obliged. And I just remember this one guy. He was like, I mean, he looked like he was from like a village in Africa. Like he was jumping like this, and I don't know if he was dancing or he was challenging me. I don't know. Boom, sleep, knocked him out. And I'm looking around. I'm just seeing just bodies flying everywhere. Security is flinging people, and we finally got control of the situation, and um, we ended up putting the promoters out because they were the ones who were basically starting to fight. And they the one who wanted to fight us. Um, Another one was Waka Flocka used to come to the club all the time because on Saturdays we had Jay Nix and ET, which was the Dirty Boys on 107.9. So I was telling you about the college and all that. So they used to have all kind of people come through perform. But this particular night, the Hit Squad was there, and they were, they were a little aggressive when in their dancing, and we kept telling them like, "Yo, stop doing that, because y'all are pressing the people up in the front." Like when Walker was performing, they were like pushing the people, up on the stage to the stage, like crushing them in between the stage. So we uh we grabbed them, we formed the line. Was like, "Hey man, y'all chill out, man. Y'all, these young ladies up here trying to see Walker, and y'all want to, what are y'all doing?" So we got them, to back up, and then my boy Dante, um, we uh, we were standing, on the side of the stage. Dante was on the stage, so me and Dante locked eyes because we seen this girl like in distress, like she was like, pressed up against the stage, like she couldn't breathe. She was in danger. So Dante went and grabbed the dude who was pushing up against her, like, "Bro, what are you doing?" So he swung on Dante. That was the wrong person to swing on. I thought I was bad. Dante two-pieced and blue. So when he started, you know, the lights came on because the young lady is now crying on the stage. Lights came on. You know, they see Dante fighting. They wanted their homeboy, so they wanted to fight. So we, of course, y'all want to get to it. Let's get to it. And it went down. It went down. Afterwards, we wasn't calling them the hit squad no more. We was calling them the get hit squad. Cause I mean, we not here to fight, but if you want to, don't think we won't. Um, and yeah, that was wild. Another fight that happened, and I couldn't believe what I did in the fight. I'm gonna tell you. Um, so like I said, it was on Saturday. So Georgia Tech used to come to the games too. I mean, used to come to the club too. After sometimes after their games or whatever. And I've seen Megatron in there, Reggie Ball. I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns was in there too. I'm pretty sure he was, because I remember it. But um, a fight broke out, and security was trying to break it up. And it was some Georgia Tech football players, and I'm on the other side of the club. So by the time I come over to the side where the fight was, um, I just saw this big lineman just flinging security. Like and the security guy wasn't no little guys either. Like he was manhandling. So I was like, okay. So I ran up and I crow hopped. All my baseball players know what a crow hop is. I crow hopped like I was throwing a baseball, and pow, and hit him right on the point of that chin, just like my daddy told me. He told me, you hit a nigga on the chin, he'll go to sleep. So I just, everything I had, and just bow. But when I hit him, I felt it was like hitting a baseball with no gloves. I felt the shock go through my forearm. And he when I hit him, he immediately went out. Boom. So he hit the door. He hit the little push bar on the door. So he's hanging out the door. But from the view where the Cab County was when they told, they was like, we just saw his head. We didn't see the rest of his body. But when I hit it, boom, it's like everything stopped. All of it stopped. And I can sit there and say I knew he was Georgia Tech. It might have been a little extra on there, a little extra mustard, you know. But as soon as I hit him, I ran to the back, put my hand in ice because my hand had started swelling up. So Cab County came in and was like, "Who hit this man? What jacket?" I'm in the back where the ice machine is. Got a bucket, got my hand in ice, got it behind my back. I said, "Jack, what's wrong with your hand? Huh? Nothing? Why's your hand in ice? There, Mr. Jackson." So I showed it to him, and he was like, "Do you realize how big that dude was?" I was like, "No." It was like, "Yeah, he either played offensive or defensive line for Georgia Tech." I was like, that explains why he's so soft. Yeah. But but yeah, we was always having fights like that. I remember one fight we had. Um, it was like these two dance groups. I can't remember the name of them, but they was dancing against each other and they got mad and they started fighting. We were like, "What in the hell? Why is B2K in here fighting?" You know. So, um, but some of the funny fights that we had happened on lesbian night. I can remember this one fight, and this girl she was the female version of me. That's how big she was. But the girl the stud that she was had been dating was probably about 5'2", 5'3". So they get into a fight, and over the music, all I hear is, I'm like, God damn. So I grabbed the stud. I grabbed the little stud from her ex-girlfriend. I snatched her and I took her outside. She trying to get back in the club. I'm like, "Man, that girl just whooped your ass and you trying to get back in there? Go on over there." Because she started it. We were sitting there watching the whole thing. She slapped her and the girl just put her in the headlock and she was straight Nolan Ryan in her head. And so I was trying to snatch her. I had to take my flashlight and tapped her. I tapped her around the head, the big girl around the head. She kind of, and that's how I was able to get her away from her. So when we get outside and I'm telling her she need to leave, now I got to go get the girl that she was fighting or that was beating her ass. So, excuse me. So I turn around, I'm like, "Lord, please help me with this woman," because she was a big one. And as soon as I said that, she came out the door. I ain't had to put out. I was like, "Thank you, God, man," because boy, that one was gonna be a doozy. That one was gonna be a doozy. We had all kinds of crazy stuff going on lesbian night. I remember one night this girl had passed out in the bathroom, and they were like, "The car is right there." So I'm like, "Oh my God." Now, this happened to me at the bounce too. Now, I don't know how firemen do it. I don't think I could do it because carrying somebody that's just straight dead weight is crazy. So she wasn't all the way dead weight, but she was just about. So I pick her up like a baby to stand her up, and I was going to turn her around and walk, just help her walk out the door. So when I go to pick her up like a baby, she jumps in my arm like a baby. So now I'm carrying her. So I I can't get one arm around her to kind of support her. So I I got a handful of ass, and I'm like, "Oh my God." So I'm carrying her, get to the car, and she was real. She said, "Oh my God, thank you, no problem, no problem." So I go back in the club. My homeboy said, "Hey man, what's that on the back of your shirt? Your pants?" I looked. I was like, "I don't know." I looked. I said, "This motherfucker." She done threw up on me. So she threw up on me. So I'm like, "Oh my God, this some bullshit." So um, I took the shirt off. It was towards the end of the night anyway, so I just took the shirt off. Finished the shift, whatever. Changed my pants because I was working at the airport, so I had my uniform. So I would leave the airport and change my clothes in the car and come to work. So I just put my work clothes back on. Got home, watched it, whatever. And so a couple weeks later, I'm in the club and I'm just, it's filling up, but it's not full. So, I'm standing there and this young lady walked up to me and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm looking at her, I'm like, "I'm okay, how about yourself?" And she was like, "You don't remember me, do you?" I was like, "No." So instead of her just telling me who she was, she extended her arms like a baby around me and jump up. I'm like, "Oh my God." I said, she was like, "I'm so sorry. I knew I threw up on you. And I didn't say nothing. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I apologize." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, this lady here is tripping." But um, yeah, we had some crazy times um in the clubs and stuff. One of the last, and it wasn't even a fight. It was a it was an altercation. Well, not even an altercation. Um, we were. It was the CTE album release party when they did the Christina Aguilera the USDA album release party. So they had, you know, basically opened the club so they can do their little after party or whatever. They was filming, and the group, I don't even know who did it, but a fight broke out, and we like, wait a minute, why are they fighting in here? Ain't nobody in here but them. They fighting each other, and then we was like, what the hell going on? So we separate the guy because it was we knew who two of the guys were, but the guy that was getting beat up, we didn't know who he was, so we grabbed him and put him out. And because we just thought it was just somebody they just picked up somewhere and just a straggler or whatever, and they just brought him in. But we put him out, and he was like, "No, fuck that! I need my camera." We was like, "Wait a minute, you the cameraman?" He was like, "Yeah, bro. Why is you getting your ass beat in the club?" So apparently he had said something to Keisha Cole, and it was inappropriate, I guess. And the guys heard it, and they let him have it. Um, but yeah, it was some good times, and I can't wait to get together with um, the guys and start talking about some of the wild stuff that went on. Um, yeah, and then there's life after Club Miami. I still did some work, um, mainly just private security. My boy Pat. Um, the funny thing is, I got fired Labor Day, and so my boy Pat, I think it was maybe a year later, he had a contract with Tracks Girls at another club, Club Moraine, and um, he hired me. So, and that was where I decided to give up my security slash bouncer tenure. Well, bouncer tenure anyway. Um, there's an incident that happened to where, um, I mean, the club was nice. It had two sides. Like you come in, that side is playing music, and then you go to the other side is playing music. So where he wanted me was the back door, where the managers and the owners and where the liquor and all that is. So, but it's by the bathroom. So what happened was, it was a guy came and was like, he was looking for the bathroom. So he was like, "Hey, you know the bathroom?" I'm like, "It's right there." But what he did was he put his hand on my stomach. As soon as he touched me, I knocked it away like, okay. That's a sign like, bro, leave this dude alone. He don't swing that way. Leave him alone. So he did it again. And he came back and asked where the bathroom was again. And I told him, I said, it's in the same place it was the last time you fucking asked me. Because at this point, I'm getting irritated because you trying me. You done already tried me. I done already let you know this ain't, I'm not, don't do that. And so when he came back the third time, he put his hands on my shoulder and I knocked it off. And I was like, man, let me tell you something. You don't get the fuck away from me, I'm gonna knock your ass the fuck out. So he squared up. Man, I tried to snatch that nigga's shoulder out of his arm. But the only downfall to that was I had to hold him all the way from one side of the club to the other side and to the front door. And I told him, I said, that's a design flaw. I said, if a fight break out, you mean tell me I gotta carry this all the way through the club? But I did. I put him in my patented Sergeant Slaughter chicken wing. That was my patented move. Boy, I put that motherfucking Cobra clutch on a nigga in a minute. But I had to carry him all the way to the front. So carry him, threw him out. Pat was like, what happened? I didn't even have to tell him what happened. The little bar back was like, I don't know what's wrong with these dudes. If somebody tell you they ain't gay, leave them alone. I said, that man that came back here 3-4 times asking that man where the bathroom was. And I heard him tell him it's in the same place it was the last time you came back here and asked, bro, don't try me. Exactly what I said to him. And so I don't know why I hadn't turned the light on. So we put him out, and that was my last time working the club because I was so enraged to where, like, I always kept something on my aspartame, gun, knife, something. And I really wanted to take my knife out and shank him because you trying me. Like, now I'm not the type that, if you try me and I tell you, I'm gonna tell you up front, like, no, I don't go that way. Um, and I'm not. I mean, that's it. I'm not. I'm not gonna be like, motherfucker, don't be saying no. Hey, no. And because this happened at Club Miami too. It was. I think it was the night I got. No, the year before. Um, they were selling T-shirts in the back, and they had this T-shirt with a cassette player on it. It said vintage. So I asked, I said, hey man, how much is the shirt? Who is it for, you? I said, no, that's a girl shirt, and I'm asking for my fiance. Like, where that coming from? So he didn't tell me. So I was like, okay. So I walked off. So it was another one that had a high heel on it. That said, I think it said either high maintenance or something. I don't know. And so I asked him, how much. I was like, how much you charge me for these two shirts? I'm trying to get her these shirts. So he said it again. And I said, if I'm asking you for these shirts, and I already told you who I'm asking for, why you want to send me the shirts? Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I pulled my pistol out. I was about to put my pistol to his head or pistol with him something. Bro, I got a little Project Pat in me, bro. You better go on with that bullshit. Now that's when and see that's where it comes in at. Like, you can be whoever you want to be, but if I tell you who I am and you don't respect that, that's when it's a problem. So uh the young lady who she was a stud, the young lady that was her merchandise, he was there helping her. She made him go to the car. She was like, you messing up my sales. What? And so she offered to give me the shirts. I was like, at this point, I don't even want them. I said, because every time I look at them, I'm gonna think about this food, and I'm gonna get mad and want to come find them and do something to them. So I didn't get the shirts. But yeah, that was the draw. I was like, you know what, I'm done. My patience is over. I got old, knees bad, shoulder bad. Just so I that was my last time doing security uh, in the club sense like that. Um, but I did do a few private events, private security. Um, it was a Facebook group I was in. Uh, Miss Kim, she used to throw parties all the time, and I would, you know, do security for her. Um, so um, the next episode is gonna be more so about me doing the private events, private security, bodyguard work, stuff like that. Um, and then I'm gonna switch it to Security Chronicles, because just doing security, especially for Atlanta Housing Authority, um, doing private diamond runs. That was tense, and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for the Miami episodes of the Bouncer Chronicles with all the my former coworkers at Miami. Me and Pat, we've been talking about it, trying to get together, get a camera crew, get a area location, and sit down and really do some in depth episodes. Uh, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna continue to do these episodes because I'm enjoying them. Just going over stuff, reminiscing, just remembering all the crazy stuff. It's like as soon as I start recording, I'll be like, "Dang, I should have said it." But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in the first couple episodes, and I'm gonna continue to do it, and let's make it happen. All right, peace.